It'll happen. Just make sure you let it.
All I have to do is become a Super Saiyan and believe.
Try believing someplace else.
This is awesome.
Look at him, he's normal. Incredible. He's stronger than he ever was as a Super Saiyan, but he looks like he hasn't changed a bit. I didn't know sitting still for such a long time.
I will stop you now! Gohan! Have no choice. It's no use, Father. I will end everything and reign over everything. I'm going to stop you! The Daishikan has come.
Well done, Son Goku. Did Did you come this far to face the gods? I have my purposes, and that ends now. I confess this will be interesting.
Daishikan is among the 5 most powerful in the universes. I count on you, Goku.
That energy! I hope you know what you're doing, Son Goku. You know very well that you don't stand a chance, and yet you still fight. Come on, then. Come on, Son Goku.
Those cheap tricks won't work on me! Now I can see everything!
Try to hit me if you can, Son Goku.
I've trained long enough to be able to feel the energy of angels! And that's it! I can see!
What?
Take this!
Very good. Very good indeed. Let's go. Come on, Son Goku. Is that all you can show? Too slow.
Take this! Damn, it's too close! There's no way I can escape that! Yeah! I should have expected it! I'm finally the father of all angels! Come on! Let's go! Impossible! What just happened? My arm! Was a mortal really capable of doing this to the father of angels?
Son Goku is your name.
Formidable! It actually gets exciting!
Even so, now you will see my true power.
You are amazing, Son Goku!
It has been a long time since I last used that power. My true form. The true father of angels. I still need to get used to it. I haven't used this transformation for millennia. You are worthy, Son Goku. Shall we go to the second round?
He truly recognized me as worthy of his real power!
Is Son Goku ready? Or are you afraid?
That form gives me chills! But I won't flinch!
If you don't attack me, I will.
Now it's all or nothing!
Now that's annoying. You're really not coming.
So I'll go! Come on, Son Goku!
destroy what I am, friend. I am the hope of the universe. I am the answer to all living things that cry out for peace. I am protector of the innocent. I am the light in the darkness. I am truth.
Goku has changed so much since the last time. What will he show?
Ridiculous. They never even had a chance.
Gohan, you can't go.
So, Hotshot, you want to fight Majin Buu?
Fight you? No, I want to kill you.
The eliminations of the tournament begin to get more and more incredible. Extremely powerful warriors face each other and everything is moving forward so that the strongest survive and manage to pass to the next stage. Daishi-kun watches the magnificent battles and says to Zeno,
Mr. Zeno, are you satisfied with the phase of the tournament?
and Zeno responds,
But of course, it's amazing. Who will survive?
inside the arena, it is possible to observe countless impressive explosions of energy. Several parts of the arena were already in ruins, and amidst the wreckage, it is possible to see Caulifla, who is looking for Kale. Caulifla says at that moment,
Where did that girl go?
and scream.
Kale!
At that moment, she hears a familiar voice.
Hi, it's been a while since we've seen each other, right?
When looking back, she noticed that who was there was none other than Goku, and then she says,
Hey, old man, it's you. You want to find me, right? Now I don't have time for you. I'm looking for Kale. I want to know how powerful you got.
and so Caulifla says,
Old man, when you see my powers, your jaw will drop.
the two strike a fighting pose and are about to start a big Saiyan confrontation.
Jiren and Toppo are side by side, repelling all enemies that try to face them. The power of both is impressive. All battles are extremely overwhelming, and it is not known for sure who will win this incredible round.
Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel so you don't miss any videos, and stay well our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Let's go back to the point.
Hit was frustrated as he didn't get a chance to show off his other skill that he had achieved. At that instant, Hit says, "Son Goku, you really are amazing. I haven't had time to show you my full power, but I know that our confrontation is far from over. I will fight you again." At that moment, two enemies appear, and Hit senses their presence. In seconds, he charges an amount of aura in the palm of his hand. Hit creates two knives with his ki and throws them towards the enemies. The weapons explode, causing the two to fall from the arena and thus being eliminated. Hit then says, "Soon we will fight again, Son Goku. And this time, that will be the last." The mysterious being that walked around the arena avoiding conflicts just found extremely powerful beings that confronted him. Cyber, Vitus, and Kaithak. Very strong beings from a forgotten universe. They decided to win this confrontation, and when they realized that those three who were just dodging whatever enemies imagined that they would not be a great challenge to overcome. When seeing the three with their dark cloaks and their hoods that cover the entire face, Cyber says,
"Those over there avoiding battles must be wimps."
Vitus responds,
"Weaklings won't last long here. Let's finish them off at once."
and everyone agrees. The three confront those mysterious beings and immediately go on the attack, a sequence of blows and strikes. Quickly, they taking distance and hurling countless K-blasts. Smoke takes over everything, and there is the sound of several blows being fired. Then the smoke begins to dissipate, and we see Cyber, Vitus, and Kaithak lying on the edge of the arena, completely defeated, unconscious. At that moment, one of the three mysterious warriors, the one that was bigger in the size being extremely disproportionate to the others, was standing beside the three defeated ones, and mercilessly kicks them out of the arena, eliminating them. About 40% of the warriors who participated on this phase have already been defeated. Vegeta is extremely furious because he feels humiliated in a previous round by Frieza. Vegeta says, "Oh, what the hell? That bastard belittled my damn powers!" Coming from afar, Vegeta hears a voice that says,
"Hey, Master!"
Kyabe approaches Vegeta saying,
"Master, there you are!"
Vegeta responds, "Shut up, insect!" Kyabe approaches and stands beside his master. Suddenly, when we see the two realize they are surrounded by enemies, Vegeta then says, "Useless. Get ready, boy." At that moment, the two strike a combat pose, and Vegeta continues to say, "Don't you dare lose to these vermin! You're a Saiyan!" Kyabe responds,
"Yes, sir."
At that moment, the enemies go up. Vegeta and Kyabe begin to fight together, dodging and delivering incredible attacks. The enemies are relentless, but Kyabe and Vegeta begin to synchronize their attacks. Vegeta holds Kyabe's arm, throwing him upwards. Kyabe hits the enemy that was coming from there, and leans on Vegeta that spins, hitting the enemy that came from behind. Kyabe screams,
"Master, now!"
and Vegeta throws him again. And then it also jumps. At this time, the two side by side charge their energies and shoot a gigantic attack and defeat their enemies. Kyabe said to Vegeta,
"Master, that was amazing! You're amazing!"
Vegeta crosses his arms and responds, "You also improved a bit." On the other side of the arena, we see Broly and Kale, who are still confused because they feel that there is something that makes them have a connection. At this moment, the great Emperor of Evil, Frieza, appears before them, who amidst laughter says,
"Well, well, what do we have here? Two Saiyan cockroaches. Monkeys. Should I break up you or have fun somewhere else?"
Broly makes a serious expression, and Kale is worried about a drop of sweat running down her face. Frieza, who was on top of a pierce of the arena that had broken, jumps and lands on the ground and starts approaching slowly. Broly then says,
Kale, beware. This guy's very dangerous.
Kale responds by shaking her head. Broly yells at Frieza.
What do you want here? Want to face us?
Frieza says,
I just want to have some fun. Shall we? Give me some entertainment.
At that moment, Frieza hits Broly with an extremely powerful punch in the stomach, causing him to spit blood, then kicks him, throwing him towards several rocks. And then Frieza uses his ki, making some energy rings and throws them towards Broly, leaving him completely trapped. That way, Broly is unable to move, and Kale advances on top of Frieza, who holds it with his tail, wrapping it around his neck. Then Frieza hits her with a punch on the ribs, and the girl screams with the pain. Frieza continues to choke her with his tail and starts hitting the Saiyan several times with his knee. Broly screams, "Damn, let her go now!" Frieza looks at Broly. Then he raises his hand, slowly putting his index finger on his lips and saying,
Shh. Be quiet, boy. Soon I will play with you too. For now, stand down.
A ring of energy holds the mouth of Broly. He is unable to speak. Broly tries to scream but fails, and Frieza keeps talking.
Be quiet there. When I'm done with her, I'll take care of you.
Kale is almost out of breath, and Frieza is having fun torturing her. Kale managed to hold Frieza's tail, but the villain holds the girl's face and begins to give a sequence of extremely powerful punches to her head countless times. Broly's power starts to rise, and he tries everything to break free, but Frieza is on a completely different level. After his trainings, he had become very powerful. Kale is about to pass out when his head starts to bleed. She releases the Frieza's tail as her strength has apparently ran out. Frieza continues to attack again and again and again. Blood trickles down her face. At that moment, a drop falls slowly and the silence hangs in the air. A gloomy mood takes over everything, and Broly's eyes are enraged. The only sound you can hear is the impact of Frieza's punching hitting the Kale, when suddenly, Broly awakens his berserker rage, and he goes after Frieza, landing a crushing punch to the villain's chest. A huge explosion takes over everything. Zeno, Daishikan, and everyone looks at the monster's energy and are surprised. We see Broly hold Frieza by the head, and he drags him to the arena floor and slams him against countless rocks, causing them to shatter. Frieza feels true despair. At that moment, Broly was no longer conscious, and everyone looked at the monster he had become, with his massive power that he just keeps growing. Kale, who was lying on the ground, wakes up and recovers little by little and feels Broly's energy. Then she observes what is happening. Kale gets up and goes towards Broly, who is letting all his power explode. Broly's power keeps increasing, and everything around her starts to fall apart. At this time, Kale says,
I need to stop him. Otherwise, he will destroy everything here. And he will also destroy himself.
Kale approaches Broly, who screams angrily. Kale, not knowing what to do, she heads towards him, and upon feeling its overwhelming power, she thinks that she's not able to stop it. But in a moment, she calms down, and she comes closer and closer, and as she approaches, she touches Broly's face. And at that moment, everything is silent, and then she kisses him. The tournament arena is definitely silent. Everyone stops fighting. Broly's ki is calm, and Kale, touching his face lightly after kissing him, starts to feel the change. Broly now regains his control and calms down. Zeno, who was watching everything, observes and at that moment says,
Incredible! She kissed him right! That was a big kiss! What will happen now?
Frieza was watching from afar after taking a beating from the legendary Super Saiyan and just muttered, "Damn Saiyan!" Kale asks,
Broly, are you okay?
And Broly says nothing. He continues in his berserker form, but at this point he's not out of control. An intense glow comes around him and he begins to change, thus reaching a new form, the form of Super Saiyan 2. At that moment he obtained the ability to transform without becoming a berserker Saiyan, but continuing with the same powers, but without losing consciousness. He looks at Kale and says,
Kale,
Thank you. Thanks to Kale's kind gesture and the feeling of connection that the two had for having these uncontrolled powers, Broly had become an extremely powerful being. Everyone goes back to their fights after this event, and meanwhile, Caulifla says to Goku, did you see this incredible power just now? It was similar to that of Kale. Has she lost control again? Goku looks to the other side and says, not this time. It was Broly's ki. He lost control and his ki increased to a level that even I haven't felt before. But now he's calm again, even though his power remains gigantic. How could he control that power? Goku smiles. He looks at Caulifla and says, well, I'm glad he got over his powers. So, you don't have to worry now. Goku makes a combat pose looking at Caulifla while smile and says, now we have to continue our fight. Where is the amazing thing you wanted to show me? Caulifla says at that moment, it's okay, old man. Just won't regret it. She calms down. She takes a deep breath and feels her ki flow through her cells. She suddenly lets them explode, raising her power beyond comprehension. Goku is startled, for he sees that her form has changed. At this point, she transforms into a level 3 Super Saiyan, a Super Saiyan 3, and says, so what, old man? What do you think? Goku is surprised and admired by the girl's potential, until he says, wow, you're amazing. It got to that level so fast. I do not have words. I'm really excited. Goku concentrates, raises ki, and transforms into a Super Saiyan 3 as well. And at that moment, the two go after each other. In an exchange of impressive blows, Zeno says, Goku is amazing! And Caulifla too! Look at their hair! They're the same! They're very strong! Caulifla grabs Goku's hair and throws him back into the pile of debris. Goku retaliates with energy shots that do not hit her as she dodges everything. She bounces off side to side and Goku keeps firing. Suddenly, Goku uses teleportation, appearing behind her. Goku is ready to attack, but she turns quickly and lands a kick on him, which he flies away. In the stands are the gods of destruction, impressed with everything they're seeing. Each fight is more interesting than the last. Beerus watched Goku fighting Caulifla. Beerus watches closely and senses that something is not right. He sees Goku getting more and more anxious. Beerus can't tell due to Goku's movements. Goku attacks with several punches and kicks and dodges in every way, but he begins to feel out of breath and suddenly says, my powers are being consumed faster than normal. What is happening to me? Caulifla approaches and throws a punch as she screams, don't get distracted or I will kill you. Goku laughs and says, you're amazing, but I still couldn't do that. Goku spins and lands an extremely powerful kick on the Caulifla that spits blood and sends her flying. Goku then unleashes a sphere of ki in his direction, causing everything to explode. Caulifla reverts to her base form and passes out in the middle of the arena under some rumble. Goku also returns to normal and feels extremely tired. He sits down on rocks so he can regain his energy. More than 300 participants have already been eliminated, and the battle were still far from over. Broly is next to Kale, who is looking at him in awe due to his new transformation. Broly then looks at her and asks, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you? Kale looks at Broly and responds, no, you saved me. And she gets red cheeks. But at that moment, Kale says, I need to find Caulifla. We got separated at the beginning of the term and now I'm worried about her. Broly says, your friend? I'll help you find her. And the two go on a quest to find Caulifla. Vegeta and Kabe are together walking through the arena when they suddenly come across Jiren and Toppo. Vegeta says,
Kabe, get out of here. I will face those two.
Kabe says, Master, I will help you. We'll fight together. Vegeta looks at Kabe angrily and says,
you worm. You can't stand to fight them. Don't bother me.
Kabe answers at that same moment, I'm the one who decides who I want to fight or not. Master, you don't decide for me. Vegeta looks at Kabe and says,
if they kill you, that's your problem.
But Vegeta felt proud when he saw that Kabe was discovering what the pride of being a Saiyan was. Jiren looks to the side and sees Vegeta, and at this point he says,
is it you, Vegeta?
Vegeta, with a sarcastic looks, replies,
how long have we been seeing each other? Jiren, you haven't changed at all. Do you want to face me again to have another beating?
Vegeta smiling responds,
this time it won't be like the last. I have some new things to show you.
Vegeta then with a serious tone says,
Kabe, move away.
And then he strikes a fighting pose because he intends to fight. as soon as possible. Kiabe walks away a little, bumping into Topo, who looks at him seriously and say,
Hey there, kid. Do you want to fight too?
Kiabe's stammering answer, Power, 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 come on! And does his fighting pose. Vegeta goes towards Jiren, and as he approaches, he dodges, going to stop behind the big enemy. Jiren turns around calmly and Vegeta ducks, causing Jiren to look down. At this moment, Vegeta digs his hands into the ground and throws a gigantic piece of stone upwards, unbalancing Jiren. Vegeta appears above him with his final flash already charged and scream,
Final Flash!
Hitting the gray directly. A huge smoke stream appears, and Vegeta gets extremely confident and says it out loud.
Hey, Bug! Hey, you worm! Appear soon. I know you can't be defeated that easily.
Immediately as the smoke dissipates, Jiren with arms crossed and a confident look says,
Is this all you got?
Vegeta responds,
Not even close.
And he already transforms into a Super Saiyan, attacking Jiren with all his speed, and he delivers an extremely powerful punch. The first of the two collide, and a big explosion forms. Jiren smiles and says,
And you really got stronger, but just a little.
Jiren raises his hand and starts hitting Vegeta, who defends himself in every possible way, and in thoughts, Vegeta says,
And really, as I thought, he's even more powerful, but nothing has changed.
Vegeta ducks, hitting the backside of his spinning leg, which becomes unbalanced and starts to fall. At that moment, Vegeta uses his ki wrapped in his hand like a blade and slashes towards Jiren's chest, who uses one hand to support himself on the ground, and with the other holds Vegeta's hand that is close to punching him. Vegeta uses his ki to propel himself down, and Jiren raises his strength to counterattack. Vegeta says,
It won't kill you, but at least I'll smash the seal face of yours.
Jiren propels himself to the side, seeing Vegeta's hand pass close to his body, and then uses his energy to throw him away. The two land on their feet and stare at each other. In another corner of the arena, Goku was sitting just trying to recover his strength when suddenly those two mysterious beings found him, and as they approached, they said, Well, 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 what do we have here? Goku looks at them and then says, There's something about you that's familiar to me. Goku gets up and prepares to combat, and the three are positioned face to face with Goku, and another battle is about to begin.
The three mysterious warriors confront Goku, who at this point still hasn't regained his strength after the fight against Caulifla. Goku was extremely tired and felt as if his powers were being drained. Goku looks down at his hands and sees them shaking. Goku at that moment says, What's going on here? One of the three warriors approaches and says, Looks like you're a Saiyan, right? But I see that you're nothing but a weak insect. Goku looks angrily and tries to hit him with a punch. The enemy holds Goku's hands and knees him in the belly, making him spit blood. And when Goku starts to fall, he grabs his hair and says, Since you're a Saiyan, I'll let you on a secret. He pulls Goku closer and starts whispering something in Goku's ear, who's startled with wide eyes. And when he finished talking, the villain throws Goku up and says, Try not to die yet, and soon everyone will know. Goku falls to the ground and the enemy are no longer in front of him. Kiabe is at the top front, who looks down on the little Saiyan. Kiabe is in front of Topo, who looks down on the little Saiyan. Kiabe at this point transforms into a Super Saiyan 2, surprising Topo with a large ki blast. At that moment, Kiabe jumps and hits the big guy's chin with a kick, unbalancing him. After that, he starts hitting him with several punches. Topo holds Kiabe's fist and says,
You're strong, but my justice is far stronger.
Topo headbutts Kiabe, making him dizzy, then throws him and says,
You got out of here soon.
Kiabe falls wounded, but his strength is far from over. Vegeta and Jiren continue to battle. Vegeta is using all his speed against Jiren, and is doing well. But Jiren is relentless and only with brute force repels all the attacks of the Saiyan Prince. Jiren says,
Vegeta, you've grown a lot stronger since the last time. But I'm sure you haven't even started fighting seriously yet.
Vegeta then says,
For a serious fight, it'll be more fun. I prefer to start little by little. Come on, Jiren. Come with me and use all your power.
Jiren smiles and answers,
Very well. Maybe now you support a little more fight would be against me.
At this point, Jiren holds Vegeta's arm that was giving him a sequence of punches. Then he starts throwing several punches at the Saiyan, hitting various parts of his body. Jiren lands a knee that causes Vegeta to bleed. Vegeta tries to fight back, but Jiren doesn't allow it, blocking the attacks with counterattacks and bypassing the defense with even more powerful attacks. Suddenly, Jiren hits Vegeta, throwing him away. Vegeta, still standing, says,
You are really incredible, but not enough for holding me back.
At that moment, Vegeta concentrates his power and transforms, his hair turning purple, his eyes completely focused on the battle. And Jiren flies towards him, landing a direct punch on Vegeta's face. He doesn't seem to care and returns the attack with similar and even greater strength than Jiren. In the distance, we see Hit fighting enemies that are a little weaker but difficult to eliminate. Hit uses his new ability and manages to defeat his opponents. Although he continues with his goal of fighting Goku, several warriors have already been defeated and the battle only gets more exciting. The gods who watch everything are extremely worried as they can contemplate how powerful those mortals who face each other there are. Gohan is with Piccolo and the two face several enemies. At this moment, the two can't hold back. Gohan says, Mr. Piccolo, are we going to finish them off?
And Piccolo says, Sure, let's go at once.
Piccolo raises his ki and Gohan flies over Piccolo. Gohan fires his Mazenko and Piccolo dodges the attack, hitting the enemies that were in front of him and defeat them. A few moments pass and they notice the presence of Sink and Dust, two warriors from another universe. They approach and without waiting start attacking Gohan and Piccolo at the same time. Several explosions happen everywhere, and Piccolo starts to gather energy for his Makanko Sapo. But he doesn't get the necessary energy in time because Sink attacks him from behind, throwing him away. Gohan, who was fighting Dust, exchanged several blows with him until he was hit by an attack from behind. Sink hit him at close range, hitting him and making him fall to the ground. Piccolo recovers and returns to the battle, approaching Gohan and saying,
This time we go all out.
Gohan agrees. Piccolo raises his ki and by focusing energy his power explodes and he achieves his last orange color transformation. With a serious look he looks at Gohan who screams, and he focuses his ki, transforming into his bestial form. In seconds, the two attack enemies and defeat them easily. Zeno, seeing the incredible power of the two, has his eyes shining, and feeling ecstatic, he has no words. All the gods start sounding cold and disbelieving in the battles that are taking place inside the arena. There are less than 130 warriors left, and the final moment is getting closer, even though there's still a long way to go before the first part of the qualifier ends. Everyone is already exhausted, but afraid of being erased. No one gives up. Kale and Broly find several pieces of rubble in the middle of the arena, and there they find Caulifla, or rather just her arm amidst the stones. Kale runs towards her screaming, Caulifla! And when approaching, she begins to remove all the rubble from above his friend. Broly approaches and helps. Kale has Caulifla in her arms, and she begins to cry. As the tears fall into Caulifla's face, she begins to wake up. Caulifla jumps from Kale's lap and bouncing from side to side starts screaming energetically. Where? Come here, old man, I'm not done with you yet! Kale doesn't understand anything, but she starts laughing. And then she says, Caulifla, what are you doing? Caulifla looks back and sees Kale and runs towards her saying, Glad I found you. Was worried about you, girl. And then after that, Caulifla sees Broly and then says, And who's that strong guy up there? He's handsome, isn't he? Are you flirting with Kale? While nudging Kale with his elbow, Kale becomes extremely embarrassed and walks away quickly, waving her hand and saying, No, of course, it wasn't just a kiss. And then Caulifla seriously looks at her and screams, What? Did you kiss him? Smarty, we came here to fight, not to flirt. Kale's face turns red and she wants to bury her face in the ground in embarrassment. Meanwhile, dozens of more enemies are thrown out. Frieza had recovered from the battle with Broly and was furious in his golden form, throwing countless warriors out and saying nothing. He just attacked whoever came in front of him. Goku, still confused, doesn't understand very well what happened, but decides to continue the qualifiers. He gets up and looks around. At this moment, a peculiar enemy appears that confronts him, and Goku says, You don't give me a second to recover, and already one enemy after another appears. Vegeta, in his Ultra Ego transformation, continues the battle against Jiren and says,
Vegeta, you never cease to amaze me. You are very persistent.
Vegeta responds,
What was that? Are you already tired, Jiren? I haven't even barely started yet.
Vegeta goes towards Jiren, lands a knee on his chin, causing him to go backwards with a blow. Vegeta lands several punches on the gray one. Suddenly, Vegeta headbutts that makes Jiren sink to the ground. Jiren recovers and stands up, holding Vegeta's leg, spinning him around and throwing him away, then flying towards him and hit him with several hits. The fight starts to get more and more fierce. Several battles have already taken place, and many warriors had their existence erased. Everyone is fighting valiantly, and many enemies are already extremely exhausted. There are currently only 100 participants left. Which participants move to the next stage? After Goku was challenged to fight when he had barely recovered, Goku then goes towards his enemy, releasing a burst of ki. The enemy dodges all the attacks, and Goku counterattacks using a power that was able to manipulate the minds of his enemies. Goku approaches, and when he strikes, he sees Chi-Chi receiving the impact of his attack. Goku stops and realizes what he had done and says, Chi-Chi, how are you here? Looking deeply at the supposed Chi-Chi says, Goku, why did you hit me? Goku starts shaking, apologizing to Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi then continues to say, and fades in his arms. Goku then stands with Chi-Chi in his arms. And that moment of weakness, Goku is hit by the enemy who starts laughing. Then you have someone to care about. At that time, the enemy delivers another blow to Goku's stomach. Goku takes a deep breath and concentrates. He remembers that Chi-Chi is on planet Earth with Bulma and the others. So at that moment, Goku gets mad at the enemy and transforms into a Super Saiyan 2. However, he loses control of his actions and attitudes due to the fury he felt. Goku unleashes a wave of ki against his enemy, who is thrown out of the arena. Soon after, Goku, half out of breath, begins to take a deep breath in the middle of the tournament. Goku, after getting extremely anxious, and at that instant, he remembers that moment when that mysterious enemy, as she pulled him by his hair, she whispers something in his ear. Goku starts to retreat from the battle. No, he was understanding that feeling of cold fear, and as if Goku was being drained, as if there was no hope anymore. So Goku stops in the middle of the fight and thinks, I need to control myself. I need to contain myself, but I need to win. After all, it is the fate of the Earth that is at stake. At that moment, the God of Destructions along with Lord Zeno-sama are watching and admiring such mastery. Zeno-sama says, So there are already 80 contestants left, so this is more interesting than I imagined. We should have more events like this. Meanwhile, Vegeta is having a tense battle with Jiren, at which point Jiren says,
Then I can fight with all my strength.
Vegeta, as usual, responds,
You can come with everything, you worm, because I will defeat you.
Then Vegeta attacks Jiren again, who is not using his full power, and Jiren defends himself with incredible speed. At this point, Jiren raises his hand and Vegeta approaches. He saws off his fist and hits the Saiyan in the face. With just one blow, Vegeta is thrown away. Then Vegeta recovers and lands a blow on Jiren.
Final Flash!
Jiren is thrown away and is impressed by Vegeta's strength. Then upon recovering quickly, he gets up and starts preparing for battle. However, he's interrupted by a warrior who attacks him. So Jiren says,
We'll face each other even more, Vegeta. Until then, don't you dare to die.
Meanwhile, we can see Kaba fighting Toppo. The battle is getting harder and harder for Kaba. Toppo is very powerful and has no mercy on his opponent. Then Vegeta says,
Kaba, you useless. If you lose, I'll kill you myself. You're taking too long. Get it over with.
At that moment, Kaba is distracted and speaks. I'm on my way now, master. Toppo, seeing that Kaba is distracted, launches a blast of energy at Kaba, who is thrown out of the arena. Vegeta tries to save him more already, and too late, Kaba had already had his existence erased. Vegeta feels guilty for having distracted Kaba in the middle of their fight. Vegeta drops to his knee on the ground, feeling guilty, and becomes enraged. Vegeta screams,
You damn worm! How dare you throw him out!
At that time, Vegeta quickly flies towards Toppo. With a lot of hatred in Vegeta's eyes, he doesn't say anything. He just grabs Toppo by the throat and starts to deliver several blows. Toppo faints, and Vegeta lets go, saying,
You insolent. How dare you? At this time, Vegeta is surrounded by 4 more participants at once. Broly, Caulifla, and Kale. Caulifla was still very impressed that Kale has kissed Broly. So Caulifla says, "Let's talk about the kissing, Broly." Kale would respond, however she is interrupted by attacks coming towards the 3. Broly feels the evil energy approaching, so quickly Broly grabs Kale's shoulder and pulls her down. The huge sphere of ki brushes past Caulifla's face, who gets nervous and says, "Where did that came from? Get ready, Kale. Broly, are you alright?" Broly and Kale responds, "Yes, we're close." At that moment, the enemy approach, and without saying anything, he starts hitting Broly. And Broly already managed to pass to his second transformation without losing control. It was easy for him to defeat the enemies. Moreover, Caulifla was having difficulties to defeat her opponent. Caulifla says, "I will not lose to you. The only one who could stop me was the old man." With rosy cheeks, she keeps saying, "And he only managed to defeat me because he caught me off guard." Caulifla launches at her opponent, delivering multiple blows and attacking from multiple directions. However, Caulifla is unconcerned with what was happening. She lets her guard down, opening space for the enemy to attack, who strikes her stomach. She falls to the ground unconscious. Kale, seeing that, runs to help. Kale had as much strength as Broly, and at that time she unleashed an energy sphere on the enemy, who didn't even want to move from the place. The enemy repels Kale's attacks, which begins to sink deeper. The enemy says, "Is that all you got? Is that all you have? I thought I could have fun with you because your friend is already out." And then the enemy starts kicking Caulifla, who remains unconscious. Kale, seeing that, gets angry and attacks the enemy with several blasts of ki. She lands several blows, and the enemy doesn't seem to care about the attacks of Kale. At that time, he takes Kale by the head and starts dragging Kale in the arena. Broly sees that, and with his high speed, he picks up Caulifla from the ground and puts her sitting in the corner and leaves to look for Kale that she was picking up. Then he stops in front of the enemy, and he says, "Let her go, or I'll kill you." The enemy responds, "Great, maybe you're more interesting than these wimps." Throwing Kale away, the enemy goes on to say, "I thought this tournament was for the strong. Where was Zeno-sama thinking about letting weakling and these little girls participate?" And with a laugh, very evil, he goes on to say, "Come, you only have size anyways." So Broly goes after his enemy, causing him to repent and take back what he says about Caulifla and Kale. They continue the fight. Broly delivers a blow to the enemy's chest that burns his clothes and leaves him very injured. At this time, Broly grabs the enemy and drags him out of the arena. Broly, holding on to his collar, says, "This is for you to learn to have respect for your enemies and not treat them like dirt." And Broly continues to say, "And that's for Kale and Caulifla," letting his enemy out of the arena. At this time, there are only a few warriors left. All were fighting their battles when Zeno-sama says, "My warriors, we have reached the end of the second phase of the tournament. Everyone get ready. There are only 50 warriors left. We will do the next phase of the qualifiers, but for now, you can all go to your rooms and rest." All the warriors stop the fights and go to their rooms. Goku and Vegeta are very tired. When they meet, Vegeta says, "You're still alive, Kakarot. Don't die until I kill you." Embarrassed, Goku starts laughing. "Of course, Vegeta." When they were about to go to their rooms to vent, the evil emperor enters laughing. Time. You insect is still alive. That's perfect. So I'll have the pleasure to kill you myself. Vegeta says, that's what we'll see. Frieza, with a cold look, says, just you wait. Then everyone goes to their room. 20 minutes have passed, and they listen. Warriors, are you ready for the second phase? Zeno-sama continues to say, good. Now get ready. Everyone go back to the arena and I'll tell you how the second phase of the tournament will work. All the warriors return to the arena, and the atmosphere starts to get tense.
Hey, I'm Goku. Here you'll find the best stories from the Dragon Ball multiverse. Upon their arrival at Daishikun's palace, Goku and Vegeta are greeted by an aura of solemnity. They are thick with anticipation for the trials that lie ahead. With their steely determination etched upon their faces, the Saiyan warriors stand ready to embark on their rigorous training regimen. Guided by Daishikun's unwavering gaze, Goku and Vegeta begin their training in the earnest. their every move infused with purpose and resolve. Under the watchful eye of the celestial attendant, they hone their skills with unparalleled focus, pushing themselves to the very limits of their capabilities. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, Goku and Vegeta undergo a transformation unlike any other. Their spirits forged in the crucible of adversity. With each passing moment, they grow stronger. Their bond as training partner deepening with every challenge they overcome. Amidst the backdrop of the Divine Palace, Goku and Vegeta's determination burns bright, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatens to engulf the cosmos. For in the heart of their training lies the promise of a power greater than any they have ever known. Power that will be needed to face the looming threat of Akumo Gohan and restore balance to the universe. As Goku and Vegeta immerse themselves deeper into their training, Daishikan observes their training with keen interest, his piercing gaze unwavering as he evaluates the extent of their newfound strength. Sensing the time ripe for the rest of their abilities, the celestial attendant steps forward, his presence commanding the attention of the Saiyan warriors. With a nod of affirmation, Daishikan signals the beginning of their sparring sessions, his movements fluid and precise as he engages Goku and Vegeta in combat. The air crackles with anticipation as each blow is exchanged, the clash of energy reverberating throughout the grand halls of the palace. As the battle rages on, Goku and Vegeta find themselves pushed to their limits by Daishikan's formidable prowess. With every strike and parry, they draw upon the depths of their strength and resolve, their determination unwavering in the face of their celestial opponent. In the midst of their fierce exchange, Daishikan's voice rings out with a tone of respect, acknowledging the remarkable progress Goku and Vegeta have made in their training. With each passing moment, their skills are honed to a razor's edge, their bond as warriors solidified through the crucible of combat. As the dust settles and the echoes of battle fade, Daishikan stands before Goku and Vegeta, a sense of satisfaction evident in his demeanor. Though the sparring session may have ended, the true test of their strength is yet to come, as they prepare to face the looming threat of Akumo Gohan and protect the delicate balance of the universe. With a focused intensity, Daishikan channels his energy, celestial energy, a brilliant aura of power enveloping him as he unleashes a fraction of his true might. Goku and Vegeta watching all, as the air crackles with electricity, their senses overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of Daishikan's presence. As Daishikan's power surges to new heights, Goku and Vegeta feel a sense of trepidation wash over them, a primal instinct warning them of the formidable adversary before them. Despite their years of training and battles fought, they cannot help but feel a twinge of uncertainty in the face of Daishikan's overwhelming strength. With a calm demeanor, Daishikan regards Goku and Vegeta, his gaze penetrating their very souls as he assesses their reactions to his display of power. Though they may falter in the face of his might, he sees the potential within them, a flicker of determination amidst the shadows of doubt. As the intensity of the moment reaches its peak, Daishikan gradually eases back on his display of power, allowing Goku and Vegeta a moment to collect themselves. Though they may have been momentarily shaken, they remain steadfast in their resolve to continue their training and rise to whatever challenges lie ahead. With a knowing smile, Daishikan gestures for Goku and Vegeta to resume their training. His presence a constant reminder of the vast depths of power that exists within the universe. As they prepare to face the trials that await them, they knew that they must push themselves to their limit and beyond if they are to stand against the looming threat of Akumo Gohan and protect the fragile balance of the existence. In a secluded corner of the earth, far from the prying eyes of civilization, Beerus and Gohan stand locked in a fierce battle. Gohan, his eyes ablaze with determination, faces off against the god of destruction, his every move a testament to his newfound strength. Beerus, his patience wearing him, urges Gohan to reveal the full extent of his power, his voice tinged with a hint of impatience. With a flick of his wrist, Beerus unleashes a devastating barrage of energy, testing Gohan's resolve and pushing him to his limit. Gohan, undeterred by Beerus' onslaught, braces himself against the onslaught, his ki surging in response to the god of destruction's challenge. With a primal roar, he unleashes a wave of energy, pushing back against Beerus with all his might. As the battle rages on, the earth trembles beneath their feet, the sheer force of their clash threatening to tear the very fabric of reality asunder. With each blow exchanged, Gohan inches closer to unlocking the true potential of his newfound power, his determination unwavering in the face of adversity. Beerus, sensing the growing intensity of Gohan's ki, grins with anticipation, relishing the opportunity to test his mental against such a formidable opponent. With a renewed sense of vigor, he redoubles his efforts, pushing Gohan to the brink of his abilities to search of the ultimate showdown. With a satisfied smirk, Beerus acknowledges Gohan's strength, impressed by the young Saiyan's resolve and determination. Though the battle may have ended in a stalemate, both combatants know that their encounter is far from over, with the fate of the universe hanging in a balance. As the battle rages on, Beerus seems to have the upper hand, his experience and finesse in combat giving him a distinct advantage over Gohan. As Gohan struggles to keep up with the God of Destruction's relentless assault, he begins to feel a strange sensation stirring within him. Deep within his subconscious, Gohan hears the whispers of a long-forgotten power, the essence of Akumo beckoning to him from the depths of his soul. At first, he resists, unsure of what his newfound power, energy, represents. But as Beerus presses his advantage, Gohan begins to realize that he must step into this power if he hopes to stand a chance against the formidable deity. With a surge of determination, Gohan braces the essence of Akumo, his entire being engulfed in an otherworldly aura of energy, dark energy. As the transformation takes hold, his appearance undergoes a dramatic change, his eyes glowing with an intense inner fire as he embraces his newfound identity as Akumo Gohan. With a roar of defiance, Akumo Gohan launches himself back into the fray, his movements fluid and precise as he meets Beerus blow for blow. The God of Destruction, taken aback by Gohan's sudden transformation, redoubles his efforts, but finds himself struggling to keep pace with the Saiyan's newfound power. As the battle reaches its peak, Akumo Gohan unleashes a devastating onslaught of energy, each strike infused with the raw power of his newfound heritage. With each blow, he pushes Beerus to the limit, determined to prove that he's more than just a mere mortal. With a newfound sense of purpose, Akumo Gohan fights on, his resolve unwavering as he challenges the very gods themselves. As the dust settles and the battle draws to a close, one thing is clear. The emergence of Akumo Gohan marks a new chapter in the annals of history, one that will forever change the course of the universe. To be continued. So hey, what do you believe in? What do you imagine about all of this? Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe here to the channel, then hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye! This is so much fun!